Don't blink, it's your boy Yink. Welcome to our show. Hope you guys are doing well because I'm having a wonderful day on this on this 7th September 25. They want to come on a video today and talk about content that I missed doing, content that I should have continued, content that I didn't continue doing. Wow, we're super close to a fly. Look at this. Oh, it left. It was super close. You had a good view of it. So simply say, the idea started from, okay, why are we doing this video, right? Because over the last 4 years, we did some content from A to Z, and there's a lot of things that I started that I gave up, that I started that I gave up, right? So here's a couple of things that I started that I wish I didn't give up. So the first thing, why we're doing this, where did this idea come from? Well, some of these pictures would have been done by now, and I just lazied around and didn't do it. So shame on me, Inky. My apologies. Disgusting. Ink, a little bit of manners, please. By the way, I called my mom yesterday, and she was super happy. So, shout out, mom, if you're watching this. So it's a shame because, for example, things like Bleach, Tokyo Ghoul, some of the reviews that I did, I could have finished them by now. See, with a show, it's not that bad because with a show, for example, we started The Office, we didn't finish The Office. It's not bad. With Bleach and Tokyo Ghoul, it's not that bad because I would study by heart. So even if I take a little break, it doesn't matter, right? Where I regret things is a show, for example, like Lost, which I don't really know. So it's kind of complex, right? When I talk about a show that I already watch, and also this is the reason. For example, Bleach, it would be so good to do it in 10 years when I forgot everything. Tokyo Ghoul, it would be so good to do it in 10 years when I forgot everything, right? But I cannot help the fact that this would be done. This would have been started and done. So this I regret. The reason why we're doing this video is the reason, something that I missed doing, which was Red Bull in the freezer. And it would have been every single energy drink in the freezer and just eating it as a shaved ice cream. I miss doing that. I miss doing the Rich Piana review. I miss doing the Epic Mealtime review or reaction. The problem with those two is we used to do them in a row, and I was like, dude, this is a lot. My apologies. Reading, I miss doing this because reading was to improve my reading. There's a part of me that really likes to wow, ink. There's a part of me that really likes to write. So because I like to write, and this is from the brain, which is the imaginary world versus the reality. So I love to write, but I don't know how to read. Well, I know how to read, but I'm not a good reader, right? So why is that a problem? Well, because imagine me reading my own stories. It would be amazing. It would be amazing, you know? It's pretty much of a shame. It's kind of a shame that this doesn't happen, you know? And there's not a lot of reason for that, you know? Why did I stop? Wait, let's play through. The moon. Going to watch the moon. It was so nice just to go hunt for the moon. Being hyper aware of the moon and its cycle, being hyper aware of the specific event. However, the problem with the moon itself is, first of all, right, some of these events I was misinformed. I thought it was going to happen once every 10 years, 20 years. But it happened every single year. For example, the strawberry moon, right? Also, the moon, the problem with that was I didn't go on websites. I didn't go on websites to be like, oh my god, what's gonna happen with the moon? What would happen is I would go on my phone. I'll show you. I'll go on my phone and I'll be doing this, right? And this is the news with the algorithm, and it will show me the moon, right? Oh, there's a lunar eclipse today, too. And can we see it from here? No. From the United States this time. It's only the United States. So yeah, so I used to freak out because I was like, oh, I need to film it. I used to put it was so sad because I really like doing it. But I used to be like, okay, well, this is the only thing that I have that is kind of a schedule, and I cannot miss it. So I would put away all of the things that I was doing I would put aside everything that I was doing just to do that. And although it's a good thing, it's just it was so rushed. Like for example, with the Nature Corn last year, most of the pressure that I was feeling from the burnout was due to Nature Corn. I constantly had to watch outside. I was streaming, looking out the window just to catch a good Nature Corn. And because I was streaming, I was like, okay, well, let's stop the stream. There's a nice Nature Corn outside. And this doesn't work because this is not the channel itself. This is not the channel itself, you know? So it was a bit of a problem, yeah. It was a bit of a problem. Why? Like I said, I wish there was a better explanation than just it didn't work. But it didn't work. There's so many things that I miss doing. I miss doing some review of food. So for example, when we had all the cash, I would go at DoorDash every single week and taste another food. For example, there was a Wendy menu, there was a SpongeBob menu, we tasted it. I miss doing those because I love tasting food. I like tasting food item, chips, ice cream, whatever. But it's not the same thing because when you're tasting a meal, then you can just have a mukbang. So it's super cool, right? And to me, it's a better time because, for example, right? I just tasted Welch. The video is 4 minutes, and I tasted for them 3 minutes. If I tasted a meal, you have the meal, you have the mukbang. So you have the meal, which is a video. You have the mukbang, it's a video, and you get to enjoy it the whole time. It's an experience that I'm sharing with you. You know, I miss doing mukbangs. The mukbangs were replaced by TikTok Live, where I get to eat with you guys. The mukbang itself, why did I miss doing it? Because it's a content that I did enjoy watching. You know, I miss writing, but then again, the writing was cancelled because of Wattpad and their law. Now, this is my fault. I keep on blaming Wattpad, but it's my fault. I should have kept a copy of it. I didn't. This is a me problem. It's not blaming people, but it just sucks. I just put in so much work, you know? I can promise you something. And again, this is not the main thing, okay? This is not the main thing, but here's why the writing was so important to me, okay? I was a small content creator, and I told this story multiple times, so if you watched it, you can skip a minute ahead of time. I'll be done. With the writing, I was a small content creator. I was doing possibly 100 views per week. My Instagram was kind of growing. I was at 1,000 followers. My YouTube sucked. I was at possibly less than 100 followers. My TikTok was kind of good, 1,000, right? And on Wattpad, I was doing 1,000 views per day. So this was more than my Instagram. This was more than my YouTube. This was more than my TikTok. All of them together. More than my Twitch. All of them together. So it felt like something. But it was the amount of time that I put in it. We had a erotic. It was an erotic book where every single story was a different story. And what ended up happening is, it was nuts. It was nuts because I think it's 130 story, something like that. And I was doing a story per day. So we did it for 130. It's 4 months non-stop. Right. Now the reality is not that. The reality we did for more. The problem is I'm not a writer. So you write something for yourself, but then you write it for other people. So then you don't put punctuation, you don't put comma, you don't put anything. And that's a problem because you should put comma, you should put all of that. Right? So yes, it was a bit of a mess. It was a bit of a problem. So ultimately that was the story. But at the same time, I would write so much that I would literally be selling the book right now. I would be selling the book on Patreon, like for $1 a month, and you get 10 chapters per month, 10 story per month, you know, which is 1 story per 3 days, which is super easy. Super easy because the story will take you 3 hours to write. So it's 3 hours times 10 is 30 hours per. It's like less than a week of work. And I would be able to sell it, right? And right now, that money would be useful, right? But at the same time, I didn't do it, so that's my fault, you know? That's my fault. But at the same time, it's a kind of positive because... Okay, so put it like that, right? Okay, so I'm gonna give you guys an example with me. I'm gonna give you guys a grand scale example. So the example with me is when I started making content with you guys, my life is anime, and it's still, I very much like animes, but it's less important in my life. So when I came in with the content, it's really a shame because people kept talking about anime with me, and I love anime, but I didn't want the focus of the channel to be anime. So instead, what I was doing is and this is kind of crazy because I didn't talk about this. I never talk about this, right? I, subconsciously speaking, was doing all and everything I can or I could to avoid talking about anime. So I would talk about what? Okay, something weird happened. Are you still recording? Aha. What happened? Give me a sec, guys. Okay, so this is a problem. 37. God damn it. We lost a minute of work. Fuck. Okay, I'm sorry, guys. Because it reached 4 gigs, I hope it's not gonna do it again. Because otherwise it's not gonna work. Which is kind of like a big problem. Shit la merde. Was it a big problem? It's a big problem because I said so. Oh, that's not enough. So yeah, for this, people were talking about how Game of Thrones, bigger example, right? Game of Thrones, people were complaining, oh, you know what, Game of Thrones used to be like that in the book, and then, oh, no, I'm so sorry, it's not Game of Thrones, it's Walking Dead. People were complaining about Walking Dead and how it was different from the comics. The reality is the comics in itself was kind of successful. It sold 100,000 of copies, but the show in itself had millions of viewers. So people like who cares about the comics, because people want to see the show, right? And because people want to see the show, they care about the show in itself. So it was a problem because they're like the most popular, right? I think this would happen to me. I think people would have saw me as this guy running corn, which I'm doing, but I'm much more than that. It's like this OnlyFans chicks who is also a doctor. Like, okay, well, you did 10 years of school, but all you're known for is a couple of videos of you on the internet. Or a girl that has her nudes released on the internet for everybody to see. And like, yeah, I didn't plan for these to happen. I didn't plan for these to be released. And now everybody knows me as the person who has those pictures online. And that sucks. And I didn't want to be that. But at the same time, I think everything happened for a reason. Worst thing is, I still want to write. Something that I missed that I didn't do. GoPro. GoPro was the perfect excuse this summer. I would have done so much this summer. But at the same time, the GoPro, I didn't see. Okay, so the GoPro is another story that's kind of complex. The GoPro in itself was a story of deceit. I saw people using the GoPro, which is Luke from Maldo's Boy, in Peculiar. And I was seeing the content, I was like, you know what, the quality is quite nice. However, the GoPro is not good for filming. Not for filming, but for viewing the footage. And it's kind of a lot of work to see the footage, right? So, there's a guy, and that guy is Smoothballer777, which is a great dude. And he's kind of like a joker, right? So, I'll tell you something really cool, then he's joking. So it's like, oh, this content is so immersive. And I'm like, oh, bro, what did I do? Right? But then I saw the content, and it was actually really nice. And I was like, I should have filmed way more of it, but I didn't. And that's my fault, you know? But filming way more of it would have been fun because, again, it's a story of... I could have done a bit more, but I didn't do it. So kind of like a bit of a mess, but a controlled mess, I guess. And that's pretty much it. I wanted more. You know, the GoPro would have been a good opportunity, but I didn't see the quality of it. So, long story short, you see the quality of it, right? You spend the whole winter making sure that you upload every single videos from the GoPro. Now this is the problem. I have 40 gigs of storage on this phone for GoPro, and I got 20 on this phone for the GoPro. I'm not even joking. I wish I was. So yes, it's a big problem. That 40 gig itself is. I hope this doesn't break at 33 minutes. Well, no, for sure, but at least. So if I would have known that the GoPro was so good, I would have made the effort to empty it. It's a lot of work. What else do I miss? I miss that's pretty much all I miss, to be honest. I miss waking up in the morning and the sunrise and having the sunrise back to me and making videos. Yeah, that's all I miss. I miss those videos. You see, not everything that you have to give up is a good thing. And now, the greatest thing with the channel is people are like, oh well, if they don't bring views, then you don't care. Nothing brings views, so it's not that big of a deal. Anyway, I love you guys. Take it easy. Peace.